we have got Shenanigan. The default audio's changed because when I press
OBS.
fuck, no,
wait.
I don't know. Right, well, it's working. Just talk.
It's working.
Hang on,
Just
I'm
talk.
talking.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, no, we're
right.
good.
Put my buttons on my stream deck out for some reason to turn the audio off. So
Mm.
Do
right,
you want me to do the
no, it's
sound
just
clips then?
no, it's just to turn the audio on and off. But I can do it manually. Right,
Ah.
I'm ready to go. I
All
think.
right, I'm ready to go too.
I suppose I am.
Sweet.
Fuck.
Nope.
I didn't press transition. Bollocks. Right, here we go.
Whoops.
Take two.
Will you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Back! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, I still haven't got I still got the intro sound, so
deaf.
the intro
Love
sound
it.
thing's not working properly.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 777. 777s. It's a lucky day to be on the Overseas Connection podcast, unless you are spinning the decks. It is the 24th of March, 2024, and I am coming to you from the future in the West Wing of Roseville, California. My name is Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. Yes, I said Twitter. Also from the future, Miss Kim Woods in parts
Howdy, howdy.
unknown.
Yeah, it's cold here today. I don't like it. We're supposed to be spring, so it needs to be warm, but we're not here. So,
Okay, all right.
but I'm
And
here, which is
Stuck
important.
in the past.
Of course.
Still an hour behind everybody else that matters.
Yeah.
Mark writes. Mark,
Hello, Greg.
welcome to
Hello,
the show.
everyone. Yeah, we will sort of like be on the normal time. Well, we are on the normal time. It's you guys who
No,
are different and awkward.
no,
But yeah, next weekend our clocks change at the
I've
correct
been awkward all my life.
at the correct interval in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Mhm.
catch up to speed. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll have more conversations about that shortly. If you are listening to this for the first time, we are a video game podcast, but we are much more than that. Not just video games. We talk about life. We talk about everything, including our favorite beverages that might have alcohol in them. Because you know what? We're old enough. We're wise, mature. Some would say not so much. And we do this every Sunday. Normally, I say normally in caveats because some people are stuck in the past. It's 8 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast, 2 p.m. on the Central Time Zone, which nobody cares about. But because of stupid time changes, and we still have to deal with this nonsense, we're splitting the difference. So we're starting about a half hour early if you are in the future, the right time frame. And if you're stuck in the past, you're starting a little bit later. Earlier. See, I hate time changes. All right. Hey, if you are watching us live on Twitch or on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Do that social media thing. Check us out on Facebook. We're out there too. Kim is patrolling the Facebook lands with an iron fist, mind you.
Oh,
She
yeah.
doesn't put up with shenanigans. All right. Nobody had a birthday because we did not check.
Sorry.
So Jenny had a birthday, though.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I've had a few days off. So Jen had a birthday on Wednesday. So I went out for a nice meal on Wednesday and that, and took her out again on Thursday, and then took her out again on the Friday. So she dragged it out. Put it that way, she dragged it out. But yeah, good time.
Nice. But that's the important thing. So birthdays. I am a firm believer. You get to claim it's your birthday 3 days before and 3 days after. And of course, on your birthday.
Obviously.
This
yeah.
way, you go out to dinner, whatever. 3 days before feels like That's a safe zone. Hey, it's my birthday. We're going out for dinner for my birthday. 3 days after, again, still safe zone. But if you get like a week ahead, I
Right.
feel like that's a bit disingenuous.
Yeah.
Or those people that take the whole month as their birthday. It's like,
Yeah.
come on now, seriously.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you don't get that.
Right.
Hey, if Jesus doesn't get that, you don't get that. All right. Now that we've covered that, let's talk some story time.
Alrighty.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
All right. Well, since we're talking to ourselves at the moment, I don't see anybody in the chat. That's okay because we did start a little bit early and we did not make the announcement that we were starting. Oh, you did.
I put it on Twitter. Yep.
Well done. And well done calling it Twitter.
Yep.
Does anybody call it X?
I don't.
No.
It's awkward.
I hear every once in a while, like on the radio, when like I listen to a lot of sports talk, and they'll be like on X, and I'm like, what? But then they'll say on X he tweeted, and I'm like,
Right.
Yeah.
what are you doing? Just call
Well,
it
you
Twitter.
can't really say
Come on.
exited.
Yeah,
That would
I
be X.
X'd it.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really feel like I need to have a conversation with Elon about this.
I know, right? It's
Do you think
just
he's
ridiculous.
changed it just to troll the whole fucking planet or what?
Pretty
Probably.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I think so.
And, you know what? I kind of get it though. Oh wait, hold on.
I don't.
Yeah.
Camera was
Yep.
doing its funky thing. It's all whoom, 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 whoom. It's because I raised my hands up. But so, not to sound like the grumpy old man, but I'm gonna sound like the grumpy old man, and we're gonna have more of grumpy old man syndrome in a little bit.
Right.
But you know, I get wanting to get away from the tweet logo because the Twitter logo was kind of, let's call it what it was. It was a little, you know, a little Tweety bird.
Yeah, but the logo
But-
was what it meant. He tweeted it. A bird tweets.
I hear you. I hear you. But he could have just, if he wanted to be all cool and tie it into like SpaceX and all of his X stuff, he could have just changed the logo and still called it Twitter or Twitter
Right.
X for that fact. That would have been fine. But no. Anyway. Okay. Rant over. Let's, Mark.
Yes.
What's been going on with you?
So I've had a few days off work. Managed to wind down a bit. Had some nice chill out days. Been out for a few meals. So yeah, really good. Back to work tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that. But it's only a 4-day week this week with Good Friday, and then week after is only a 4-day week because of Easter Monday. So 2 4-day weeks, can't go wrong really.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
there.
Not really done much TV and movies apart from caught the end of Halo season 2 finale. So
And you hated it, from what I understand.
no, that's a
Did you
different.
really love it?
That's a different Halo I hated.
Oh.
I'll go into that when we do.
No,
the
let's
episode.
talk about Halo.
But no,
season
I
finale.
thought the finale
No
was really
spoilers.
good. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I think it's interesting because they definitely are walking a pretty fine line now of they've really come back into, I think, a lot of what Halo fans wanted, right? So we're getting a lot of the firefights, we're getting a lot of the good special effects, and within that though, they're still changing things a little bit. They're still tweaking
Yeah.
things here and there to the main storyline.
Yeah, and
Certain
some huge
characters.
characters, yeah, are different or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you can't
so
really say without spoiling.
I know. Maybe we'll have a conversation in like
Yeah.
say a week from now. We'll talk about the season finale and also story implications. I think that would be a safe zone. But I very much have been enjoying it. I think that the writing, the special effects have been tremendously better this season.
Yeah,
So I highly recommend, if you gave up on the show in the first season, I get it. It was not fantastic. It was, I thought, solid, but it wasn't like over the top, like this is great. But I feel like season 2 has pushed it back up into, hey, this is pretty damn good. And it's delivering a Halo story that we just don't know. And I like that because I think if it was just like The Last of Us, where it was just a recreation of the game, and you
Right.
kind of knew step for step what more or less was going to be happening, to me, especially with Halo, since it's been going on for so long, it would have just been a bit boring to me. And so here, I am on a little bit on the edge because I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen because, again, there are certain key characters that have stayed in the game And effectively, I do not anticipate seeing them anymore in the TV series.
Yeah. And opposite to that, there are characters in the TV series which never make an appearance in the
Right.
games.
Right. And again, this whole nonsense of they never should have had him take off his helmet. I just say bullshit. And a lot of people like point to the Mandalorian, and they point to the Mandalorian being like, "Oh, that's how you do it right." No, not really, because when you watch the Mandalorian, as much as I enjoyed the Mandalorian, that show has serious flaws. First and foremost, the nonsense of him keeping his stupid helmet on the entire time. Watching him try and drink that soup, and I forgot what episode it was, but it was the most awkward thing in the world because he's sitting there trying to hold the cup up underneath his helmet without taking his helmet off and tilting his head back. And I'm like, just fucking take it off.
Right.
So,
Well,
and again,
season 2, I think for the first 3 or 4 episodes, but he doesn't wear any armor at all, does he?
yeah, and it's totally fine.
Yeah.
And it felt right for the writing, for the narrative of what was happening. And honestly, I liked it because you still see that super soldier side of him. We're talking about Master Chief now. Sorry, going back to it, but also not Superman. And that was a really important inflection, I thought, that they showed within that. It was like, yes, he is a cut above everybody else that's, a normal soldier, but he is not invincible.
And the armor does make a difference. Yeah.
And the armor makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Anyway, Halo, the TV series, fantastic. Season 2, I cannot wait. They better do a season 3. I will be deeply disappointed if they don't.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mark?
No, that's it, really.
Okay. All right. Kim,
Bit boring, really, huh?
let's talk about neuter schedules.
Alrighty. Yeah, as it says, Mario and Luigi are going in for their neuter, not this week, but April 4th. So that's scheduled. So, pretty soon.
Hold on. Real fast. Boomer
Okay.
in the chat. So just for Boomer. Okay.
So anyway,
boy.
yeah, they're scheduled to be neutered, so trouble nuggets no more. This week my horse is an asshole and decided to knock his fence. We have like this electrified ribbon that runs along part of the fence to keep him off the fence.
Right.
And this week he decided apparently to be an asshole and knock it down, so I had to go and take care of that this week.
Yeah, okay. So do you think maybe the horse is thinking the same thing? Just be like, fucking Kim, the asshole.
Probably,
She put
even
this stupid
though,
electric fence up.
Yeah, but didn't he,
Yeah.
about a year or so ago, didn't he impale himself on the fence? So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he got in a fight. Yeah, he got in a fight
Yeah.
with the other stud that we
Yeah.
sold here a couple of years ago, and I think he ran into some barbed wire and
Yeah.
slashed
Ah,
his
that
shoulder
right,
all
yeah,
the way open.
yeah.
Yeah. So and we still have 2 of them, so we still have to keep them separated and off fences and whatever. So that was part of the deal, was to keep them away from fighting each other, because one of them always ends up wounded or the fence gets torn up or whatever. So that was the idea with the electrified ribbon. Well, like I said, this week he decided, fuck you, I'm going to knock it down. Well,
Right.
he's still a stud, and I trust him enough, but I wouldn't turn my back on him. So I had to distract him with feed and then shut another gate to keep
For the record, that is not trust.
right. And I had to shut the other gate to keep him out of where I was at. Although, mind you, he's never once tried to he's tried to bite Dad, but he's never once tried to bite me or kick me or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe he likes me slightly better than Dad. I don't know. Anyway, I managed to get all that done, get out there, fix the fence, and get out. And just as I was opening the gate that was keeping him separated, he ran right past me, went out, looked at the fence, apparently noticed I had it put back up, turns back around, runs right by me again, heads back to the trough to eat. So apparently, and then that afternoon when I went out to feed him later, he didn't come up to eat at all. So apparently he was pissed off because I fixed the fence. But the next day he was fine. So apparently the attitude was over. I stabbed myself with an arrowhead this week. That was interesting.
You didn't take an arrow to the
Okay,
knee, did
multiple
you?
questions.
No, I did
Multiple
not.
questions now, Kim.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I didn't take an arrow to the knee. I kind of sliced my finger a little bit. I was in Dad's room. We have this big old plastic tote, and it's full of different wood screws from when we built the house. We sorted them all out, put them in different containers. And I was trying to fix a chair, and I needed some screws. Well, there's a box of T-shirts next to this totem screws, and the cat had been in there, knocked them off, and knocked the t-shirts out. So I was trying to put the t-shirts back in the box, and apparently I felt this, I don't know, odd thing, and I went to pick it up, and that's when I noticed my finger was cut, and I was bleeding, and I'm like, that's not good. Well, it turns out it was an arrowhead, like if you go out deer hunt, that sort of thing. And I don't know. Apparently, it was in this box of t-shirts, and I guess I'm glad the cats didn't find it, and that I did. But yeah, I don't know how old the friggin' thing was, but
Do you
it's still
guys
sharp.
hunt with bow and arrow?
I don't, but Dad used to, so that's
Okay,
why.
okay.
I'm
I was
assuming
trying to
that's
figure
why.
out where this arrowhead just magically appeared
Yeah,
from.
yeah, he used to bow hunt back in the day, and
Okay.
he doesn't so much now. But it's just weird that this loose arrowhead was just roaming around apparently in this box of t-shirts, because even he didn't know where the hell it come from. So that was interesting to say the least. I eventually picked it up, and after I stopped the bleeding and realized I didn't cut the tip of my finger off, I put it in a bottle because I didn't know what else to do with it. I didn't want to throw it away, and I couldn't just leave it there. So I put it in an empty pill bottle and put a lid on it and labeled it. So I'm like, do with it what you must. So
Sorry. I'm just envisioning this, putting it into a pill bottle, labeling it. Thank God you labeled it, because God knows somebody comes
Right?
along and they go to like pop a pill and just throw it in their mouth and
like, that's not
Arrowhead.
magnesium. What the hell? Well, I was
Yeah.
gonna put it in this drawer, like the desk drawer, but then I thought, yeah, it's gonna roam around in there. Some asshole, probably me, is gonna stick their hand in there one of these days, and I'm gonna get jabbed again. So putting it in the pill bottle seemed like a good idea. And on some sadder news, I don't know if you guys remember, but here a few years ago, I used to babysit my brother's dog, Toby. He had a chocolate lab who had severe separation anxiety. So he couldn't leave him at home or he would tear shit up. One day it was so bad he tore the wall out of the side of the house.
Oh, wow.
That's how bad his separation anxiety was. Anyway, he's had this dog for years, but he messaged me yesterday to let me know that poor Toby had passed away the night before.
no.
So, shout out to my brother. He was pretty upset because that dog had been his child forever.
Oh yeah.
At least until he had children. Because I mean, he used to go to town and like buy a cheeseburger from the restaurant or whatever. He'd buy one for his dog and take it out to the dog, or by mistake, or whatever. Like I said, it was bad enough with the separation anxiety. He had to hire me to babysit his dog. So that's how. And I even had him for, I think it was like 5 months. Because he did, that's when he screwed up really bad. My brother's like, I can't right now. Can you hang on to him till, like, tempers settle down, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't even come in here and podcast with the door shut, and he would flip out. So, but I miss the old dog. I got pretty attached to him, too, while he was here, so.
I felt the
But-
same way about Mark. So I mean, he's
Yeah, there
back
you
on the
go.
show. We're good.
Thank God. So, yeah, rip poor Toby. I'll miss the
Yeah.
old shit. So, that's
Well,
it for me.
Yeah, definitely sad news.
Right.
So sorry to hear that.
Mhm.
Additional sad news: the plague has infested my house.
You got it now, huh?
Well, so my son was sick all week long, and we kept him home from school.
Right.
We're like trying like crazy to get him healthy, because this was supposed to be our sleepover weekend with his daycare center. So we were
Oh.
actually going to get a date night,
Right.
which we have not had in months. So we were all excited for it, and of course, slowly but surely, just the realization setting in: this ain't happening.
Right.
He is so he's homesick. Then Wednesday evening, Cindy starts with the sniffles. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. It's just going to run its course through the house. So by Friday morning, Colin's still full blown. I took Colin to the hospital to get him looked at. And ultimately, they told me, well, you know what? The medicine you have him on right now is about as strong as we would give him anyway. So you're better off just staying with what you got. I'm like, you've been no help. Thank you.
Right.
And Cindy gets totally sick. I was not sick up until last night. Well, yesterday afternoon. I'm like, you know when it's coming. You feel it. You just
Yep.
feel your chest like tingling a little bit. And then, slowly but surely as the day goes on, I'm starting to feel it's coming on. It's coming on. Then last night, I could definitely feel it in my chest. And I have had a little bit of a cough. But this morning, I woke up, I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was just like, I could just feel it just in there. Go into the bathroom, cough up a very, very dark green.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Been there, done
And
that.
I felt good since.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So I told Cindy though I just refuse to get sick, and she's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "If I don't believe I'm sick, then I'm not sick. It's mind over matter, damn it." And,
Sure.
So far, so good. I also did Navage. I will say this: I did Navage last night, which I haven't ever really used it when I've been sick. I've done like some precursor, like ahead of time Navaging, and that seems to have worked. And last night I did that. I coughed up some phlegm this morning, and I'm golden.
Well, fingers crossed it stays that way, because that's terrible. Yeah,
that's the hope. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about Halo. I did also watch the season finale of Bad Batch. Still stand by this. It's a fantastic Star Wars story. If you have not seen it, check it out on Disney Plus. I think it's 3 seasons now. Yeah. And it's just a really solid Star Wars story about clone troopers. Has nothing to do with Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, all that nonsense. It's just really good. I also, I think I forgot to talk about this last weekend. I don't know. But Dune 2, went and saw that in the theater.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Really good. Enjoyed it. I still think the Dune storyline itself is a bit confusing. I'm not gonna lie. I could not tell you who's what, other than bad guys, good guys, pale guys, not pale guys. And that's Dune 2 summarized for you. There you go. It leads into a potential third movie, so we shall see. But I liked it. It's really good in the theater, of course, because of all the special effects and the audio. It's fantastic. And then lastly, so I am testing the waters with I'm trying to ease Cindy off of traditional TV into using a Fire Stick. And so we've begun the process. But of course, we have Xfinity internet at the house, and we use them for our local TV channels only. The Amazon Fire Stick, so we're watching just the regular live TV, and I don't know, like after about an hour, it just black screen. What the hell? All the apps for the other partners work fine, but with the Fire Stick, I think it might be because this Fire Stick is slightly old compared to the newer version and also the Wi-Fi that we have in the house. So I have bought a new Fire Stick to see if that will work. If not, I'll just return it to Amazon. But yeah, the only thing that will potentially block us from getting away from having a cable box, quote unquote, in the house is if we can't do local TV. I think we should be able to. We're going to bridge that gap, and we're going to further cut the cords.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I did that years ago. So.
Yep. And I think that's pretty much it for me. Yeah. So let's talk some video games. Or no.
Questions.
And I just turned my camera back on. Love that. I held my hand up, Mark. I'm like, wait. We've got those Discord questions. We need to talk about these. Mark, why don't you go ahead and read the questions, and we will respond.
Right, so the first one is from Mr. Christopher Matthew, and he put, "What's your opinion of romancing games? It seemed novel in Mass Effect in 2007. BG3, I presume that's Baldur's Gate 3, companions were all very thirsty, and it got awkward turning them all down. Thoughts?"
I have a lot of thoughts about romance in games, but Kim, I'll let you go first.
Honestly, I'm for it. I don't know. Maybe it's the single hermit in me. I don't know. But although I will have to bitch, I played Andromeda, or part of Andromeda, and the ones they gave you in Andromeda were terrible. I mean, just awful. There wasn't one in the batch that I would have picked at all. So, you know. And so I guess I will say that romance is good unless they give you terrible options. And then I might as well just be single. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it in Dragon Age and, well, subsequent Dragon Ages, except for Dragon Age 2, because the guy I picked turned out he wanted to be a monk. and didn't want anything to do with me. So I'm like, well, then screw you.
That's awkward.
Right? And the other one that I picked decided to blow up the religious facility. So, I just couldn't pick one for anything on that game. But I don't know, I like it. It's I guess that's pretty much it. I enjoy it. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 yet, so I don't know what they're like,
No, I
but
haven't.
I'm more interested. So I might have to pick that one up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind romance options unless they're terrible. So
Mark?
Well, for me, I used to care when I used to care about achievements. So I'd follow romance storylines just for the achievements when I was a bit of an achievement whore.
Oh,
But now I don't really care.
right.
If it's gonna make the storyline good, I'll go out of my way and sort of like follow that story path. But it don't really bother me now. Like a lot of times, I just want to get the main story over and done with because some of these
Mark
games are
would
just
do it
so
for
long.
the achievements.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when
Victory
you were
achieved
a
after 2.5 minutes.
when you were a whore, you were all about the romance.
Yeah,
But then when you
yeah.
were no longer a whore,
Yeah,
it didn't matter.
I
anymore.
became that hermit, that monk. I became that monk who came here. Became
So,
celibate.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like anti-romance now.
Oh.
And the main reason for it is I agree with CP Matthew. I did think it was novel in Mass Effect, and I thought it was compelling in Mass Effect. It was an interesting new element to introduce into games. But I feel like
it was only novel in Mass Effect because you did it in zero gravity with a blue alien.
oh, yeah. But so I feel like it's done now just to do. For there's no purpose
Right.
behind the romances.
Right.
There's no. So I would much rather see developers not just focus on romance, because it just feels like the whole purpose of romance is to get to the point that you're having sex on screen with somebody, and then it's like, okay, got it, done.
Right.
And it's like, what was the true point to having a romance?
Mm-hmm.
So
There is one game what does have a point to it. That was Fable. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember
Playing
having
Fable, yeah.
having relations with Parsnip Nose and
Yeah.
having a baby with Parsnip Nose, and then having relations with CP Matthew and Parsnip Nose getting jealous.
There you go.
with the characters, obviously,
Awkward.
in the game, not me, but yeah. In
yeah.
in Fable, you
Well,
you actually
yeah.
produced offspring, which I thought was quite a novel comedic
Yeah.
way.
But so for me, give me something more than just a naked scene, because that's what
Right.
I feel like all of the romance now in games amounts to. It's
Right.
just do a couple dumb side quests, because I'll just call them dumb because typically speaking they are, to get to a point that the person likes you enough that then they'll jump in bed with you.
Right.
Instead, how about you create a bond with just one character to the point that it gives you benefits. It gives you maybe a stat boost.
Right.
There's actual benefits to being in that relationship and being loyal to that relationship, as opposed to I'm just going to try and sleep with every character I can that give me the option.
Right.
I feel like they should give purpose to these relationships, and it doesn't just have to be a romance relationship. What about just a loyalty relationship?
Right.
One where I've got your back no matter what, and it could play out in again, like in a Baldur's Gate game. It could literally be, that you're getting a benefit of having somebody that's believing in you. And in a political kind of scenario, maybe they're able to add some validity to whatever argument you're trying to push forward. I don't know. But I'm just,
Right.
They did
spitballing
do
here.
that,
But
though. They did the loyalty missions in Mass Effect 3, didn't they? And if you didn't do the loyalty missions, they had a higher possibility of dying in that last suicide mission. So,
right, which
yeah.
that again, I think Mass Effect did some really
Yeah,
good things
yeah.
with, but of late, it feels like all of these romance options, it's just there
yeah.
to basically, jumped in the sack. I had sex with a bear.
Right.
And the downside is like the odd sort of like scene like that, which is like makes you have that shock factor. You see it on the internet before the game even comes out. Like biggest example is Witcher 3 with the unicorn.
Right.
That was all over the internet before you even got to that point in the game, so everyone knew about it.
Right.
And same
Right.
with GTA
honestly-
with the Todger hanging down, Ballad of Gay Tony.
But in the
Everyone
Witcher,
saw that before they saw it in the game.
Yeah, but all you were doing in The Witcher, you just wanted to see Yennefer. You just wanted to see Trish. Or Tish. That was her name. Tish?
Triss.
Triss.
Trish. I know it was T something.
Yeah.
Right.
Big tits.
It was never about something more than just seeing that ridiculous moment happen.
Unless you were me, because I could give a shit less. But I just
We-
like Triss because, well, Yennefer's a bitch. So anyway,
Yeah, but we know how you feel about Geralt. And seeing
This is
Geralt
true.
naked in a tub, I'm just saying.
yeah, well, I do have the figure for that. So
Yeah.
And side note, did you get Geralt? Sorry, did you get Snake in Fortnite? Did you get the Snake character?
yes, I
Yes,
did.
good. Yeah, I got him as well. Right, carry on.
Well, that's why I
Uh,
like the romance options for Dragon Age, because technically they didn't give you a stat, but you had to work for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a couple of different missions and then boom, there they were. You had to actually work for it. So
I
those
just-
are nice.
I
In
think for me,
Starfield, you got an extra buff, didn't you? If you had a
I've
companion.
not
I'll
even
bet.
explored romance
Right, yeah.
in Starfield. So
Yeah, you get an
but
extra
yeah,
buff.
to me, if that's the case, then maybe there's merit to that. But
Mm.
All right.
let's move past. I just want to see a naked scene. Give me
Right.
something more.
It's not even
Then
I'm
I'll be
that
more
thirsty.
interested in a romance. Yes, thirsty characters. Okay. All right. Next question.
Right. So this one is from Lord, and he put,
Speak.
"I have a question. So I have just finished. All right. So anyway, that first bit I don't understand, but it's put, he's just finished Starfield, and after hearing nothing but meh reviews, wasn't expecting much, but after 120 hours, he loved it. Not as good as the Fallout series, but nevertheless pretty good. So to those who didn't like, it was you expecting from it, and I think he must have been drunk when he typed this.
It's possible.
Yeah. So if it wasn't what you were expecting from it, like you didn't get, does anybody understand that sentence?
I think that the gist of this question is, for those of you who didn't like it, what were you expecting
Yeah.
from
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Did you?
He was
expect
expecting
something
Fallout
different?
in space, and that's what he got. So he
Right.
was happy.
I haven't finished Starfield yet.
No, I haven't.
I will say this. I think I do have some disappointments with Starfield, and that just, I think, revolves back around some of the expectations that were out there leading up to it. And maybe they were some false expectations, but I do think Bethesda skating around a little bit the issue of, flying your ship down to the surface and coming back up. They alluded to that you could do that. The realities are it's a cutscene.
It's a cutscene,
a loading screen. So those little things, I think, did tarnish a little bit some of my enjoyment with it, but I still very much enjoyed the game, and I was expecting Fallout in space. That was my anticipation, was it was going to be very Fallout-like.
Yeah,
Especially once I saw
I've
they
been-
had base building and stuff.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've not even touched the base building. I know, like, Matt Nation at Empower, he's put hours and hours into the base building side. I've not even touched that. I've sort of like been doing a lot of the main story and the side quests, but I quite enjoyed the storylines. I found the side quest better than the main story, to be honest. I don't know I can't remember what name it is, but it's like the Texas Ranger storyline. That was great. I loved that. And the where you become the cadet for the army people and you go to old Earth with the terramorphs. What the fuck? Yeah, Jason's FaceTime in Jenny, but it's coming through on her iPad. So with the terramorphs, I thought that side mission storyline was really good as well. But yeah, I've still got to finish it. It's just so many games, too many games, too little time.
Agreed.
Lord did
Kim,
actually
you
have-
haven't played Starfield,
Alright.
correct?
No, I have not played Starfield, so I have no opinion on this whatsoever, other than
Lord,
that's the way people are.
yeah, Lord has also put on. He's now playing Black Mesa, the Half-Life fan-made game. I think that's like a remaster of Half-Life, and he said it's great so far. I've got that on Steam. I just need to play that.
Right.
So yeah, because I quite enjoyed Half-Life.
Okay. And let's we had one more question submitted by some guy named Marcanix.
Yeah. So yeah,
Crap.
does your
I mean, what?
patience thin as you get older? So as you get older, have you got less patience than what you used to have, particularly
Look,
with
I've
gaming?
never had any patience. I never had any patience. I had to develop it when I started watching kids, because I mean, nobody wants somebody with no patience watching their children.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I never used to rage quit. Well, I suppose you did to an extent, but not as much as what I do now. The thing what sparked this off today was after watching the season 2 finale of Halo, I thought I still haven't finished the Master Chief Collection, so I'll fire that up. So back in the day, I had Halo 2, but I never played it for some reason. I don't know why Jay played it, but I never played it. And I think I was sort of like 2 missions short of finishing Combat Evolved. I'd just finished the library one and the other one, and I just had to do keys. And then the last mission is the one where you get off the thing. And that mission involves a warthog and a time limit. Now, that warthog is a bitch to fucking control.
like the Mako in Mass Effect.
It's worse than the Mako, actually.
And the obstacles you have, every 2 minutes I was flipping the fucking thing over and the time was running out, and I just ended up I just shut the Xbox down, just rage quit. I couldn't handle it anymore. So... yeah.
The Warthog, controlling a Warthog, especially in the older Halo games, it's gotten a little bit better, but it was a skill in and of itself.
Yeah.
And
because you can't actually steer it, you just point the camera where you want it to go and move backwards or forwards.
Well, and that's the thing, is that is
auto-steered.
how you're steering it, but
Yeah.
it takes a lot of getting used to, because if you've done driving games, it handles nothing like a car.
But
So-
it wouldn't be so bad if the path was sort of like semi-accessible. It's like fucking doing a wipeout zone. Every 2 minutes you're getting knocked off, you're getting down bumps and flipping it over. It's just it absolutely did my head
That's
in.
what makes it special, though.
Yeah.
When you complete that mission, you're just like, yes.
And I
all
nearly
right.
rage quit on Dragon's Dogma, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
Well, I think to a person, we all tend to lose patience as we get
Oh,
older.
yeah. Yeah.
That's why we get the
Well,
memes of the cranky
yeah.
old man on the lawn. Get off my lawn!
I've noticed it
Right?
more at work as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, I've shot quite a few people at work because like every fucking 10 minutes I'm shouting "fucking bastard" when with a rusty bolt or something breaks or I can't undo it or I hurt myself. Yeah, I never used to be like
We're
that.
starting to become our parents. We're
Yeah,
living up
yeah.
to the curmudgeon old
Yeah.
memes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
It happens.
absolutely short-tempered.
Like,
now,
let him
big
start
time.
losing my hair.
Yeah, temper's
That'll be
totally
fun.
gone.
All right. If I end up bald like my father, look
Now,
out. Oh.
you know what'll happen when you start showing up with a big wool cap on your head.
Right, yep.
All right. No, fair question, Mark. I think rage quitting though is it's not just an old thing though, right? It is.
Yeah.
It's part of being a gamer.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as we're not throwing controllers into the TV or anything like that, I think we're fine.
Yeah,
So-
I've never thrown a controller
Me neither.
other than I just toss it to the couch or whatever and just be like, fuck this game. And then I
Right.
But yeah, there's people out there that literally take it to a whole new level.
Oh yeah.
My sort of eldest step grandson, he's 13 now. He smashed his PS4 controller, thrown it at a wall because he lost a game of Fortnite.
Oh god.
Literally smashed the controller against a wall.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's kids for you,
that's
isn't it?
tough.
Yeah.
You look at him, go, that shit's expensive, right? You have
Make
to,
'em-
you have to
make 'em
replace one of
replace
those.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Great questions. Again, if you are part of the community and you want to submit a question, or if you're not part of the community yet and you want to submit a question, come to the Discord. We'll have the Discord
Right.
link in the show notes. You can come in, join the Discord channel, leave a question, and we'll answer it
Sweet.
as best we can.
Right.
Okay, we are at the end of March, so we're not going to worry about the free games that we pay for to get for free.
Okay.
We will, though, talk about what we have been playing.
It's game time.
Today I feel like playing computer games.
It's game time.
We could discuss the Epic Games ones because they change weekly. Seems
Right.
Kim went to the
Should-
trouble of
okay,
updating
yes,
that.
let's
I did update
real
them,
quickly,
yes.
Ken.
Yeah.
Real quickly. Epic
All right.
Games, please.
Well, let me scroll back up there because I hadn't planned on it, Anyway, we're not that far. Alrighty, your epic games for March 21st through the 28th are Call of the Wild, The Angler. That's the fishing game. I only know this because Anthony plays it. Invincible presents Adam Eve, which I think is also free for Prime Gaming. Don't quote me. And then March 28th through April 4th, we have, is that Islets? Islets? I think it's Islets.
I think it's
I'm gonna-
Islets.
Yeah, we'll go with Islets. So there you go. Those are your epic games for the next couple of weeks.
Honestly, you
So-
made us go back to do this. Those 3 games.
Those 3 games.
People are interested.
True. There's probably somebody out there who wants them. So
Well, you know what? Tony's one of them. So there we go.
probably. Yeah, you're right.
All right, Kim, let's start with you because I have a feeling Mark and I are going to be talking about pretty much the same game for most of our sessions.
Alrighty. They still have the Warhammer event going. So, as a matter of fact, my brother from another mother, Boomer, and I yesterday spent most of the day playing Juggermosh so we could finish out the event. And, well, I did. So, a lot of Juggermosh all the time, which is fun. I always have fun when me and Boomer play COD. I mean, except unless there's those games where, you're absolutely getting your ass handed to you. And I think we've all had those games where you're just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gone. But Juggermosh, it's fun. It's about over, so I'm sure they're going to replace it with something else. I still kind of miss Horde Point, though, but what are you going to do?
It does
and
look
then
like Warhammer, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they've got the Warhammer suit, whole 9
Yeah.
yards. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. It gets me all primed up for Space Marines 2 that's coming in September. I can't wait. Although, I probably should finish the first one. I do like my Warhammer, what can I say? Let's see. Other than that, on Steam, I've got, I don't know if you guys played it. I don't think I ever played it, but they had the Lemonade stand, Lemonade Tycoon, whatever the hell it was. Anyway, back in the day, where you ran like a lemonade stand and you had to like watch all your ingredients, and if you ran out, yada yada yada. Well, they've got one now, but it's a boba bar. And the only reason I got it is because you're a
It's got
cat.
cats.
So-
Yeah, cats.
Yeah, it's got cats in it. So I got it for like
Oh,
$3.
Kim.
I know.
Oh, Kim.
You know what? If this is all it is, at least I'm harmless. So anyway, I got it. I played it. And let me tell you, I went bankrupt on this game like 5 times before I finally got the knack down that, And I still piss people off because they just think I'm charging too much or I don't have enough of some ingredient in it or whatever. Well, I'm up to like $1,000 now, so I'm slowly but surely figuring this out. So if you've ever played Lemonade Stand or Lemonade Tycoon, well, no, it was way back in the day. I'm sure somebody knows what the hell I'm talking about. Boba Bar on Steam. It's like $3. It's in early access.
I think most of it's on mobile games. All the footage I could find was always on a mobile.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. There's not much to it. Like I said, you just go day to day running this boba thing and doing. I don't know how long I'll stick with it because honestly, after a little bit, you get I get bored with those things if there's not anything else to it. But I don't know. I'm up to like day 10 or something. So I think for me,
Kim,
it's just
I get bored with this game just reading the title.
I know. But well, then
And
you'll
it's
like
not fair because the Tycoon games.
Right.
I mean, there's something about them. It's the whole management system part of it.
Right.
That's the hook. So I
Right.
get that. I do get it. I'm teasing you a little
and
bit
that's
here.
my thing because I'm just waiting to see how much money I can make before I go
Right.
bankrupt again. So there's that, and another one that's actually on Game Pass that I think it's out now. I can't remember.
Yes,
It's Lightyear.
it is.
Lightyear Frontier.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I like the look of
yeah.
this.
Well, I don't know. It's another one of those little chill, cozy sort of games. What are you gonna call it? Because
Is it
basically,
like a farming simulator.
Yeah.
yes,
But a
basically,
futuristic
and-
one. Yeah.
but you have a Mac, so it's like
Right.
Titanfall, but on a farm, which is what got me because I liked Titanfall, and I mean, So anyway, I got this, and I don't know. I put a few days into it. I'm not really very far. I'm still living in a tent, and I got a couple of plots that I'm planting random things in. I don't know what they're for or what they are, but they wanted me to put a plot and plant something in it, so that's what I did. And I don't think there's anything that can actually kill you or hurt you or anything else. So if it's just one of them games that if you just want to screw around and I don't know, harvest trees and build things, then this is the game for you. I don't know, though, if this is a game for me, because I found myself getting bored very, very soon.
So on that note, Kim, I
Right.
did fire this game up.
Yeah.
I got as far as putting all the parts to the mech together
Right.
and stood up
Yep.
and started falling asleep.
I'm done.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know if there's like, I guess, ruins and stuff, which I stumbled across some of this. And apparently, I don't know what exactly you need to do to get in these ruins, but I haven't got there yet. And then an interesting thing, which is why I'm drinking the ginger ale, I think it gave me motion sickness.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's the motion blur, which I eventually turned off, but
Yeah.
I was sitting here playing it today, and all of a sudden my stomach got queasy. I started to get a headache, and I'm like, this almost feel like when I get car sick. None other game does this, and I don't know why this one does it, but something about
Interesting.
this game, it gave me motion sickness today for some whatever reason. But I know there are
Now-
people out there that like these. Yes.
Are you playing it in first person or are you playing it in third person?
First person.
But you can, I believe, put it in third person, right?
Maybe that might help. Yes, you
Yeah.
can, because I toggled with it today and I couldn't figure out how to get back. But so that might help me. I don't know. We'll try
Yeah,
it.
I think
see.
that would. That's just
But-
my gut feeling.
Right. Because, I mean, it was today. I've been playing it for a couple of days. It took me till today to figure out there was a map so I could find my tent easier, because the other night I was sitting there. I'd ventured off because you open new places up as you venture off, right? So I was off adventuring, trying to find new spots, and it got dark, and I don't know why. I was worried something might come out and eat me in my mech. So I was trying to find my way back home, and I couldn't remember where the fuck I put my tent. I couldn't, and I didn't know there was a map, which I guess I should have figured that, stupid, there's a map. I didn't push enough buttons, I guess. But eventually, by the next morning, I found my tent. But, yeah, there's a map. And I also put a sign out by the end of, I call it my driveway, but it's like a path. And I put a sign at the end that says, "Hey, stupid, this is your house."
Nice.
Yeah. So I actually have to have signs to tell me where the fuck to go to get to my house, because I couldn't find it. So,
More signs
Anyway.
of getting old.
right. Hey, stupid, your house is over here. But anyway, I know there'll be people that like these games, that like those little, like Stardew Valley, them little farming games that
Yeah.
I can't get into because they do bore the ever-loving shit. But I can play Boba Tea Tycoon and, watch the profits roll in. I don't know. I don't understand it. But
I think there's different types of building games, and this is just one of
Right.
those building type games. And so, Boba Tycoon, the drive is for money. This,
Right.
the drive is about creating the perfect farm.
right, I live on those, so no.
Yeah. By the way, I apologize for coughing. I
That's
will
okay.
do my best to mute myself moving forward, so this way people don't have to listen to me coughing.
That's okay. I understand. It's hard to do. I've been there. But anyway,
Well, and it's not
Lightyear-
helping that I'm drinking something that's clearly going to just dry the shit out of my throat and make me cough more.
Right.
But by all means, let me do that on the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lightyear Frontier. That might be something that, and I was excited because of the whole mech thing, because I still miss Titanfall.
I was too.
But
then I fell asleep.
yeah, it's like Minecraft. It just bores me and I can't help it. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of people out there that'll love this thing. So it's on Game Pass, so it's free to try out. There you go.
There you go.
Mhm.
All
That's
right.
it.
Mark, let's talk about real fast. You did Lethal Company on
Yeah.
Friday.
So yeah, Fatal Fridays. We were just me, Snoogans, and Jay. So we did some Lethal Company because Jay's not played
I
it
don't
yet.
have Lethal Company. So.
Oh, it's really cheap and it's a right scream. It's a complete riot.
I might have to get it after listening to your last escapade. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a proper thing. We muted each other in Discord, and we only used in-game chat because when you die you can't talk, and it has proximity chat unless you've got walkie-talkies, which we didn't have because we didn't have any money, because we didn't earn anything, because we're crap. But yeah, so the game basically is you have to land on moons, gather scrap, fly it back, cash it in, and meet your quota. You have 3 days to meet your quota. The only downside is some of these moons have got certain creatures and hazards on them. And it can get very dark in some of them buildings. So unless you've got a flashlight, which costs money...
Which you didn't have.
Yeah, and Snoogans was the only one with a flashlight, and he jumped to his death, so we were
Wait,
screwed.
flashlight or flashlight? Sorry.
Flashlight, yeah, or both. But yeah, so
AB.
but yeah, one of the highlights was it was the first run as well, and Jade never played it, and we just landed, and it carried on my game save, so we were on day 3, so there was quite a few more sort of like deadly monsters. As soon as we went out, right, this fucking big thing with a massive mouth with teeth came running after me and Snoogans, ate both of us straight away. Right, Jay's screaming like a girl, runs back to the ship, shuts the door. the monster's at the door, and it clips a little bit through the door, and Jay's thinking, and he couldn't hear us by this time, and we're in stitches, but we could still hear Jay, and Jay saying, "Are you trying to get in? He's trying to get in," and we're saying, "Don't open the door! Don't open the door!" What does he go do? He opened the door. Monster comes in, chomps on Jason. And Jason is in absolute hysterics. He couldn't stop laughing for about 20 minutes. And that was just the start of it. And then it went on from there. So we started a new game. We went into the thing. There was a spider. The telltale signs of spiders webs. There was a spider there. And we're saying,
I hate spiders.
Crawl past it. Don't make a sound. So we crawled past it. And then, I can't remember who did it, but someone made a noise, and the fucking things just started chasing us. And we're all
Now, is the
screaming.
proximity chat, will that play into it as well?
Yeah, probably. It might have been us talking, yeah. And we were just running around like headless chickens, screaming like girls. It was just so funny. And it killed us. Even platforming is in this game. Like, to get to this other platform, there's like a metal, an iron girder. And I jumped on the iron girder. I said, "Oh, yeah, I've made it onto the iron girder. Yeah," because I don't want to fall down before then. And then I tried jumping onto the fence at the other side, and I fell to my death. And they were just killing themselves laughing. So it's one of these games where you have to play it to experience it. It's very unique. Very
Jay
low
in the
budget.
chat now. He
is
said,
he
what
there?
about the lightning?
Oh, shit. Yes. So we landed on another moon, right? And we're waiting for the things to come down with our purchases, because they come down in like a little pod. And all of a sudden, we see this lightning. So me and Jay sensibly stand under this platform. Snoogan stood out in the open, waiting for this fucking pod to land. And all of a sudden, this lightning strikes, and he's nowhere to be seen. I said, "Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Oh, he must be dead. He must have evaporated him." So we pick his torches up, flashlights.
Right.
We go to this bottom of this ladder to climb up to get to the entrance, and we find his body about 100 yards away from where it was. Just like,
nice.
Oh, it was so fun. And then, coming back out of the thing, we didn't realise at the time, if you're carrying metal, where Snoogan's already had a flashlight, so me and Jay were waiting to purchase ours, because Snoogan's had a flashlight in his hand, it attracted the lightning. So when I came out, I had a big engine in my hand. Right, so and I got zapped and it disintegrated. And then Jay picked the engine up, thinking, "Oh, I'll carry it for you, Dad." Zap! He got zapped as well. So it was just hilarious. We had a right scream. So we're definitely going to play that again. And we don't do very well. And when you do go back to the company store, you put your stuff on a shelf, right? And when you press this bell. Right, and then this thing comes out and grabs it and takes it in, and you get your money. Now, Jay says, "Don't press that bell too many times." I'm thinking, "What do you mean?" So I'm going ding, 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 ding.
Oh shit!
All right, and I stepped back. Snoogans was still stood near it. This arm comes out, grabs Snoogans, rips him in half, fucking disintegrates his body. So, I think Jay and Snoogans might have some footage on. I'm gonna have to record these.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll definitely record the next one. But yeah, if the footage of this would be comedy gold. So yeah, we had a riot scream. In fact, I was getting told off big time because we had Ava staying with us, the youngest granddaughter. She's 4 and she doesn't sleep well on the night. And my screaming and shouting, and I was in big trouble with Jenny that day. So yeah, absolutely hilarious. Yeah, Jay's got some footage, but he had his mic muted. So that was Lethal Company. And then we had 3 games of casual games on PUBG. We did well on the first 2. I think we came 3rd and 2nd. We came across a couple of good 4-player teams because there's still 4.
Right.
Is it 3 or 4 teams you get on them?
Well, it's 4-man or 2-man teams, right?
Yeah, 12 players, isn't there? Real people. I'm trying to find video for it.
Well, I was going to say, no, it's technically your squad would be 4 people,
yeah,
whether it's all 4 humans or not, but each squad is 4, so.
Yeah, but the last game we did get a chicken dinner, which was really cool. We played well on the last game, so I got quite a few kills on that. I'm getting used to mouse and keyboard now. In fact, today I was playing Fortnite with the kids, and I played on my PC rather than the Xbox, because Epic Games, it links all the platforms together, so I had all my characters and everything, and it is I'm going to sound like a PC snob now. It is way better with mouse and keyboard for aiming.
Well, yeah, the aiming side of it,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm getting used to mouse and keyboard now. So yeah, I'm getting more
I'm
into
sorry.
it. Past couple of weeks, Snoogans, when he ditched you, when he said he was stuck in a cave,
Yes.
he's convinced me to buy this game called Sons of a Forest, which is in the it was in the spring sale from Steam, which Kim and I think we bought quite a few games between us. Anyway,
More than I should have.
yeah. But yeah, I bought Sons of a Forest, and this is a survival game, building game, which is my jam. But this has got a horror theme to it. Now, luckily, Snoogans held my hand through this, because
Aw.
I'd have had no chance. So you go into these caves, and you have to go through all the way to the end, because you can't save inside them. You can only save at your base.
Okay.
And some of the enemies in this are just, they're awful. They're so horrific, and they're so deadly as well. And sometimes all you've got as a weapon is like a bloody stick. So yeah, and there's a character in this game. It's on screen now called Kelvin, and Snoogan says
That's the one that couldn't get in the golf cart.
yeah, this is Snoogan says this is Greg, because after the helicopter crash at the beginning is a bit sort of like, yeah, brain damaged. So Rob was saying this is Greg. But what you do is you write on a little notepad telling him what to do. You hold it up to him, and then he'll go do it. So you can tell him to fetch logs or go fishing. It's quite funny. You move your character up and down like nod him, and he'll go back at you. It's so funny. He might do it now while he's putting the sticker on. So so it's quite good. There's, as well as the monsters, there are human enemies. The monsters only tend to come out at night or in the caves because it's dark, but the human enemies are around for all the time. You come across their camps. Snoogan says that as time progresses, the enemies get harder and they'll start raiding you and stuff. I'm only on day 3, so it's not been too bad yet. There has been this NPC character what started to hover around our base. Snoogan says she's friendly, but she's weird because she's got 4 legs. Rob calls her twin fannies.
Okay.
So she's a weird character. So I'm looking forward to see where that progresses. The crafting in it is quite unique. You combine stuff. When you want to craft something, you lay a mat out in front of you, which is on the screen now, and you put the different stuff in the middle of a mat, and you press a gear cog, and it combines them. So you can make a spear out of your knife and some sticks and some duct tape and that. There's resources all over the world to collect, and it's a beautiful looking world as well. So yeah,
That looks nice.
Yeah, like I say, I'm early into it, but yeah, I'm going to be getting more into this. But it's not for faint of heart. It does have some jump scares, and it has got some more quite weird looking monsters.
All right.
I just like how the guy's running down the side of the mountain like it's
Yeah.
no big deal.
Yeah.
Holy
Exactly.
moly.
And you do come across random golf carts, like Kim mentioned, right? So we
Poor
found
Calvin.
them, we got him one, and Stunker said, I'll drive because I know how to drive these. We went 100 yards and he fell off a fucking ravine, didn't he? And we got it trapped straight away.
Typical Snookins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was good
Let
fun.
me take care of it. I know how to do it.
Yeah. We did so. I jumped in Halo on Wednesday, me and Jay.
Yep.
Again, PC version this time. I found
Yep.
it better than playing on the Xbox using the mouse and keyboard. Still suck at it, but yeah, we did some big game battles, didn't we? In
We
fact,
did. Big team battle is tough because it's such a different game than the
Yeah.
4v4, team deathmatch. However, what I'm hoping is we'll get at least 6 of us together, and we can do some private matches and have a little fun.
Yeah.
3-on-3,
Yeah.
4-on-4, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I
that will be
did
the next evolution.
yeah, I did enjoy the objective-based stuff, like capture the flag and that,
Yeah.
the seeds one. So yeah, it's really good. Yeah, in fact, Snoogan's told us to sort of like download it and get it all ready for Wednesday night, and we actually did have a practice run on Super Fiesta. Like that's a new mode I haven't played before. I've done the Fiesta, but Super Fiesta, wow, the weapons like amped
They're
up to shit, aren't
overcharged.
they? Yeah,
Yep.
Like the sniper, right? Normally the sniper's one shot reload, one shot. You got multiple shots with a sniper. It was ace. I loved the sniper. So we'll be hopefully joining you more on Wednesday nights for that. Jay joined us as well, and he enjoyed it. He's not really played Halo since Halo 3 days.
Yep.
So he was quite impressed with it. He liked it.
Yeah, it was a good time. We'll definitely look to do it again.
The main game now, which we can both discuss if you want, is a new release.
Real fast before we get to it. I did a little classified France 44 still.
Oh, right.
We
Okay.
won't spend any time talking about that, but turn-based XCOM set in 1944. World War II.
I want to play this.
It's still fun. I'm very much enjoying it. This is one of those games. It's going to be a change of pace game. You know, it's nice when you play a game you can put the controller down and not feel like you're going to get screwed because you put the controller down. And I think, Kim, that's kind of like Tycoon. You know, the Tycoon games, you're not worried about in the moment. You know, if you're not saving right then and there, you're going to die or something. So anyway, let's talk, Mark. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Dragon Dogma 2, yeah. This came out Friday.
Yes, and I convinced you.
Yeah. I was interested in it anyway. Because I really liked the first game. But it was a long time ago since I played it, back in 360 days. And it was the Dark Arisen version. Not the original. It was they re-released it with Dark Arisen, didn't they?
Yep.
Which is like an extra DLC, and I really enjoyed it. I've loved the unique thing where you could climb the monsters and stuff. So yeah, they've done Dragon Dogma 2. It's all over Twitch at the moment. It's all over YouTube. Everyone's playing it.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Do we want to go? There are some negatives. There's positives.
I've got a lot of negatives.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We want to go negatives first.
Yeah.
Well, I guess here's my question. Overall, my impression, I'm very high in this game. I'm very much enjoying this game.
I'm mixed.
It's not perfect.
Yeah. Oh no.
There are flaws to it.
Yeah.
And in fact, part of the flaws we'll talk about even in the news. But I honestly think this is one of the better Dungeons and Dragons games out there.
Right. Oh, is this an official D&D spin-off?
It is not.
Oh, right.
It's
I
not.
didn't think it was.
But they utilize a lot of the same monsters.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of call it a D&D game, even though it's not an official D&D game. Look, it's a Japanese developer making this game, and it's got Western sensibilities. There's no stupid giant swords. The romancing, from what I can tell so far, is not really in the game. No. I wouldn't be opposed to it being in the game, but it's not like front and center. It's not a main driving thing within this game.
Right.
It's just a good story. And so I very much have been enjoying so far. And it does so many things well. Little touches, even like the ox cart.
Yeah.
For some reason, the ox cart, I love the ox cart. Just because it functions the way you would expect it to.
I wish you could summon the ox cart. Because where I am at the moment, I've just done a quest. And I want to get back to that main city, the Moof or whatever. And I can't get back there. I'm getting killed every time because I have to there's no fast travel. And that's a big bugbear for me.
You've got to be able to run away.
And I haven't any fairy stones yet to use that port crystal. Because it does have fast travel. You unlock port crystals as one at certain key points on the map. Plus, you can place 10 of your own, apparently. But to use these port crystals, it's like a port key in Harry Potter. You need a ferry stone to ferry you there. But I haven't even come across them yet. I haven't found any. I haven't found any shops whatsoever.
Well, and this is, I think, not to get into the news component to it, but this is part of one of the complaints of the microtransactions that came out in this game. Part of it is you can buy those fairy stones. You can buy...
Well, you can buy the port crystals, but you can't buy the fairy stones.
Yeah,
there's a lot of microtransactions,
there's a lot of microtransactions that will allow you to shortcut things in the game. But to me, they don't take away from the game. It's not. So, anyway, back to the game itself. I think I would love a lock-on system.
Yes,
we talked about
big
this.
time. Yeah.
It doesn't have lock-on.
No.
So you're free firing. Although, like, I'm playing as a mage, and you kind of have like a magic missile as your base weapon.
Well, the mage is the best character because that does kind of auto lock on.
Exactly. I was just going to say it does kind of auto lock on. You still can misfire if you're not aiming in the general direction, but that will auto lock on. And then other spells. The interesting thing about the mage is like you have to evoke the spell. There's time to evoke the spell because you're basically casting it, and then you get it ready, and then you can launch it. And they don't really teach you how to do that at first. And so like I'm like trying to do this flaming spell, and I'm like, okay, how do I launch it? It basically is you tap your X button to start it, and then you tap it again to actually cast it.
Yeah.
So it's like you bring it to life, and then you cast it. I love that you have party members that you can kind of pull together. So you have your pawns. This is the other big part of the system.
Yeah, that's
game.
a good thing. Yeah, they had that in the first game, and they've brought that back, which is quite unique and a really good system.
Yeah, and so if you're not familiar with the pawn system, for those that don't know, basically it's you have your main character, and then you have what they call as a pawn character, which think of it as an NPC that's your sidekick. And the cool thing is all of the pawns in the world, so to speak, everybody has one. They go into the rift, and the rift is kind of like this.
It's like an interdimensional
extra dimension.
Yeah,
Extra dimension where you go into this rift, and you can select other people's pawns and use them in your game. So like right now, I pulled Mark's pawn into my game, and his pawn earns experience in my game and brings that back to his game.
And also, if you do a quest I haven't done, or if you find a chest or a location I haven't done, when I'm in that vicinity, my pawn will go, oh, I've learnt this, and then you press the go button, because on the D-pad you can command your pawns. So if you press the top one, which is go, she will then, or he, mine's a woman, will then go, and you can follow your pawn, and they'll lead you to it. So that's a really good system.
And I experienced that, by the way, today.
Right.
With your pawn.
Yeah.
She guided me to the location of a character that I was supposed to be meeting up with. So it was kind of funny. Yeah. She's like, I know where we're going. Follow me. I'm like, okay.
That's cool. I searched for yours, but because you can search for your friends, but I don't know if it was too early on and yours hadn't been put in the rift yet, but I will find yours. But I've got I'm a fighter, my class, and again without the lock on, half of the time I'm just fucking slashing at thin air, and it's frustrating as hell. It needs a lock on, but the first game didn't have a lock on either, and I don't remember it being so frustrating. Stamina, oh god, the stamina is a huge problem, especially as a fighter. It drains so quickly, and then you walk like you're stood in fucking treacle, and you move really slow, and it takes so long to recover your stamina, and by that time I'm dead.
But so is it a problem, or is it just learning the mechanic of it? Because again, this is, and maybe it's a little counterintuitive.
It is a problem.
You can't mash the buttons.
And it depletes so quickly. I think they need to nerf how much it depletes.
And they may. Yeah, I mean, the game just launched. I'm sure there will be some patches that come along.
Yeah.
No doubt. Also in some of the grievances from some of the community.
But what I do like about the pawn system is you can have your main pawn and you can have two others with you. So because I'm a fighter, I've picked. I have my main one, which is a ranger, the rogue type with the daggers. She's fast and nimble. And then I've hired, because you have to use rift crystals, I've hired a mage, because they're good at healing your teammates. And I've hired an archer for the flying enemies, which are a pain in the fucking ass. There's some flying sirens, and if you haven't got an archer in your group, you are going to struggle.
So what's funny about the pawn system is one, I named my pawn Cynthia Gill. My wife's maiden name is Giel, so I was having a little fun with that. So I get to order my wife around now in game.
Only
time it'll ever happen.
Mine's called Jen Pawn.
There we go. But so I laughed a little bit though, because my pawns made a comment when we first started to go out, and she's like, are you a little nervous that we don't have a fighter in our group? And I'm like, interesting. So the pawn's kind of calling out
saying you need
that you don't have your your group really set up to do battle.
Yeah, hire a fighter, you
Um,
dumbass.
And then even funnier, so later on I did get 2 additional pawns. I hired them, got them into the group, and I had purposely decided I'm all women.
Oh, yeah, mine
all,
are. Yeah, mine
all
are.
my
yeah.
pawns are all women,
Yeah.
right?
Of course. Of
She
course.
makes a comment.
Oh, mine did
Has
as well.
anybody else
Yeah,
noticed
yeah.
that it's all women?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny though. I
Yeah,
just started
got
laughing.
that
and
comment.
like,
Yeah, because my main guys, my main characters are dudes, and mine are all women. Oh god, right. So this is quite funny. So I came across some armor, and it was for a rogue. Obviously, I
Right.
can't equip it, so I thought I'll put it on my gen pawn. So I went into the menu screen, went onto gen pawn, and I equipped this armor. Right, but it was a pair of pants. Now it was higher rating, so it was better armor, but there's no ass in them. There's just a
Oh, how funny.
pair of underwear, like cut off leggings type things.
Right.
Whereas the other ones were full on pants. And she's running around now in her underwear. It looks hilarious. It's quite good actually. But, yeah,
Oh,
and
boy.
it's got better armor, so I thought that was quite typical Japanese. The less clothing they've got,
Right.
the more armor they've got. So, yeah,
So I did have so kind of getting back to some of the things that it's doing well and just the little touches. So I got into a big fight with an ogre.
yeah. I've
And-
done that.
and
I've
the
done two
ogre-
ogres, Yeah.
It was at a this kind of watery area where it looked like the ogre was sleeping in front of a dam. The ogre gets up and we had to traverse past the ogre, so the fight was on. The ogre is swinging this giant club at us. He threw the club at us at one point. He picked it back up, starts swinging it again, and he threw it again. And this time it struck the dam structure, broke the dam structure apart, and so in the midst of this fight, I notice all the water drains out of the pond. And it just
Yeah.
flows out because the dam has been broken. I just thought, okay, it's a great little touch, not consequential to anything other than just fun to see that happening in real time.
Well, there are. I don't know if you noticed. I can't remember if it's the second ogre fight I went in. There were some boulders held up with some wooden planks, and if you hit the wooden planks, the boulders come down, and they'll hit the ogre and take a big chunk of his health off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I have not had that fight yet.
Right,
So,
yeah.
but again, other little things that I just noticed, like when you're walking through the forest, brush, that kind of thing. One, all of the foliage, it reacts to you walking through it. Two, I also noticed the characters will put their arms up, kind of like pushing the tree branches away from their faces, that kind of thing. And those little touches, I love those little touches.
A little
It's
touch
visually a
highlights.
very nice looking
Yeah,
game too.
but it gets a bit tedious after a while. After a battle, they'll fist bump you or high five you. Well, one of the
Right.
pawns. But that gets a bit tedious after a while because it's like an animation. You can't control your character while it's happening.
Right.
Yeah, but so the negative side I've found is I'm doing one of the early on story quests where I have to take out 3. It's called culling, I think, and you take out 3 lots of different enemies in 3 hugely vast different areas of a map. When you first get to that main city of Vermouth or whatever, and it's for the main dude you meet there who knows who you are, but you're not believed by other people. I won't spoil
right.
it. Yeah, you know what I mean, don't you? And these areas are quite well spread apart, and one of the areas must be. I don't know if the areas are level sensitive, because this last area I had to go to, which is on, I think it was called Harve Village, on a little coastal bit. The enemies there were rock hard, and on the way there, because there was no fast travel and I couldn't see an ox cart, and you can't call an ox cart, we kept coming across. I came across 2 massive. I don't even know what it is. I sent you a picture, didn't I? It was like a bull, but in human form, but with a bull's face and that.
Like a minotaur.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he just like demolished the whole party in like 3 swings completely. So I reloaded, and luckily it doesn't put you back too far. It does auto-save quite a bit. So this time we skirted around this guy, and then I ran into a massive griffin. That demolished us within seconds. Well, actually, it demolished my 3 pawns, And I thought about running away, but if you don't revive your pawns, they're dead forever, apparently.
Ah, okay,
So-
interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, I don't know about your own pawn, but the ones you've hired, once if you
Right.
don't revive them, they're on a time limit because you can hear a noise, can't you, when they're down?
Okay.
Now, I hardly had any health, and I thought, I might as well just go try it. And then as soon as I went near that griffin, it just flattened me with its claw and just stomped on me, and I was dead. So we managed to skirt around that one, and I got to the village. I did the quest, and now I've got to go all the way back round the terrain, round this coastal path, back to Vermouth to hand
And
the
there's no
quest.
ox cart in the village?
No, but to hand the quest in.
Yeah.
You've got to hand the quest in, old school RPG.
Yeah.
And I've got to go past all these enemies again. And
Almost
it's
all the
pissing
quests
me
I
off.
found so far have a do the quest, you get a little bit of a reward, and then you come back and you report that
Yeah.
you did the quest to the original quest giver,
Yeah.
and you get some more experience and gold. So we have a question in the chat.
We do.
Heartcat wanted to know, what do you think about the new races they added? So I think this is talking, and I don't know the name of it. The cat people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were in the first game. I don't know.
I don't believe they were.
I instantly thought of Kim.
I know.
and I
Okay,
got-
they've got cat people.
Yeah.
Kim.
and I got a huge Skyrim vibe.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It gave me a very much a Skyrim vibe as well. I did not. I don't know what to think about them. I honestly have. I had one approach me, a pawn. You do get approached by pawns a lot.
Yeah.
To like join your party.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, straight up, like, no, you're not a chick, and I only am doing chicks in my party. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Terrible.
I know. The other thing. Okay, so this is. I found this out the hard way, and this is my own fault. So I got into part of the main quest line. There's a moment that you have to do kind of a sneaky bit. Now, the sneaky bit is not real straightforward in how you're supposed to go about it. And this game, a lot of the quests, they don't really tell you, other than what you kind of the end result of what you need to do. They don't tell you how to go about it. And oftentimes there's different ways you might be able to achieve some of these quests and unique ways in approaching them. Say, you might see like a ladder up on a cliff that you have to knock the ladder down.
Yeah.
And once you knock the ladder down, you can climb up the ladder. But
Yeah.
if you don't do anything, you just would completely bypass that. Anyway, in this situation, I wasn't sure how to go about sneaking because there's no sneak button.
Yeah.
So, I felt like it was a stealth mission. I was supposed to go into like a prison area. I'm walking past the guards. They're paying no attention to me. I'm like, okay, fine. And then I bumped the guard and he got all fucking aggro on me. They end up putting me in jail, taking half my health.
All
All
right.
my gear was gone.
Wow.
I'm like,
I've
what
not
the fuck do
experienced
I do
that.
now? And the game then tells you can bribe the guards to get out of jail. Well, they wanted all of my gold.
Or you can
course.
microtransaction and buy a jail key.
Apparently. But, I had the key. No, I had the key. I could
Right.
open the jail door. But I knew at that point I was going to get, I had no weapons on me, nothing. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm just going to go back to my save that I loaded.
Yeah.
So I saved it right before I went into this area. And I'm like, okay, great. I'll just do that. I will go back to my original save. So I
Did you
quit
figure out
to the title.
Could you figure that out, how to reload a save?
Well, no, that's the
exactly.
Yeah. So this is the problem. This game does not let you save scum at all.
No.
And it's very sneaky. It auto saves very quickly.
That's why I
So-
just died rather than because you can't reload. So I thought if I die, then it'll put me back
Yeah.
to where I met this.
The moment
monster.
I went into the jail cell, I didn't realize it saved it
Yeah.
Oh
and
no.
considered that my save. So you have two choices in this game of how to save. You can rest at an inn
Or a campsite.
or camp,
Yeah.
a campsite, right? And it will save at that point. Or you can manually save, but the manual save and the auto save take the same slot.
Yep.
And I did not know this. So I load up my last hard save. It took me all the way back to like when I was level 3.
Oh
shit.
wow.
And I was like,
Wow.
what? And then I tried loading the load save. It had
Yeah.
already auto saved.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Oh
fucked.
no.
Pardon the language. But yeah, I was totally screwed. I could not. So I've had to basically restart the game. That happened to me this morning.
Ouch.
That's what I get for trying to be sneaky at 5 o'clock in the morning. But even still, I'm very much still enjoying the game. I'm not fussed about the travel so far, but again, I haven't experienced what you've gone through, Mark. So that may be an issue.
And I don't
there's
like the health system neither.
the health system takes a little bit getting used
Yeah.
to. As a mage, though, I'm able to cast a healing spell. So
Yeah, but once you take
helps.
damage, your health goes down, but also your health bar diminishes.
yeah,
So when you do recover your health, you're not recovering your full health bar. You're only covering what's left of it.
Right.
And it can diminish really
the
quickly.
only way you get that back up, I believe, is by sleeping
camping,
at an
yeah.
inn or campsite. Yeah.
Yeah. So with me trying to get back from this mission on this like million-mile fucking journey on foot,
Right.
as well as the big monsters you meet, there's a lot of like the regular monsters you meet on the path. There's a lot of goblins, them Sauron reptile things, and them harpy bird
Yeah.
things, which are a pain in the ass. I'm meeting loads of them, and these seem to be really tough compared to where the game first started.
Right.
So I've rested at a campsite. I've literally been 2 minutes. We've encountered a load of enemies. My health bar is already at half capacity. And we're in another campsite for miles to rest again. And you can't just put a campsite up anywhere. You have to use
No, you have to find a campfire.
Yeah, there's these like little fires. But all these fires, you have to clear out first before you can use them,
Right.
which is a pain. So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, also there's different camping kits.
yeah,
So there's a standard camping kit.
I've got a
and they say
modest
in the
one.
description even a modest camping kit, but it says it can be like basically
Does it
destroyed
actually-
by monsters.
Does it make a difference what camping kit you use?
So there's upgrades of camping kit you
Alright.
can buy.
I know you can
Um,
microtransaction a right fancy one, but
Oh, I bought one at a store in not Melv. It was one of the other cities. Anyway, and it was I want to say it was like a grassy, it was something like grassy leaf camp kit, and it basically says in the description this one should withstand a monster attack. I was like, okay, so. So new melee weapons. No, I believe all the melee weapons are more or less the same from what they were. I mean, I'm sure there's different variations on the weapons, but I
yeah,
mean,
I think
it all feels very
yeah.
similar to the previous game.
Yeah,
But I mean, for me so far, this has been a nice early game into the year, and honestly, I think this is a strong contender for me for probably being in my top 5 for the year. It's a very well done fantasy RPG.
yeah. And to say it's a Japanese game, the English voice acting is really good.
Yeah. I mean,
although
the voice acting is top notch.
the oldie worldy language gets a bit tedious.
You know,
They're really
what it
late
is.
on heavy.
they do.
Yeah.
They do. But it's so much better than Final Fantasy nonsense.
Yeah.
So there's that. Anyway, so Dragon's Dogma 2, definitely on a recommend for me so far.
Yeah.
Mark, would you?
I'm mixed at the moment.
I think
There's no
I
skill
think
tree,
it's-
neither is there? There's no skill tree. You level up.
No, there is. So
Where?
Uh-oh.
if you go into God, I'm trying to remember the initial camp that you're at, in the very start of the game when you go in, and there's a tent there where you can sleep. It's a military camp. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. You go in there. They say you can change your vocation if you want, but then also you can
Oh, no, you can
upgrade and
change
change out
vocation,
your
yeah.
skills.
Yeah. I've done the skills,
And
you can
yeah,
assign
so you
4
buy-
different skills. So you hold the
Right.
bumper, don't you? And you got extra skills, but you
Right.
can't put anything to like strength and dexterity and vitality. Or
No.
anything.
Yes, you're correct. No, that just automatically
But yeah,
increases.
it does increase when you level
up.
up. Yeah. I know that automatically goes up. But I'd like to be able to put points into certain things if possible, but that's just a little gripe. But yeah, the main problems for me is the health system, the travel, the lack of fast travel. I've only seen the ox cart twice, and that was both times in the main town, and I was already at the town. So yeah, I don't know. I wish you could hail that ox cart or send a carrier pigeon up to get one or something.
There's a question around the frame rate. I mean, I definitely saw a little bit of the hitchiness
Oh,
in
it's
some of
awful.
the cutscene
It's
stuff.
awful.
Yeah. Does it make me not want to play the game or make the game unplayable to me? No.
No, it's bearable. But
Yeah.
it's very noticeable at times.
You definitely notice it, especially in some of those cutscenes. It's like it just was stuttering. I was like, "Oh, okay."
And
But-
I don't know if it'll be any better on PC, because I know some of the PC versions, depending on hardware, was struggling with it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that when we get to the news section, which I guess we can transition to that. But so far for me,
I have a question.
yes, sorry, Kim, we've
Yeah,
ignored you
yeah,
this whole
sorry.
time.
I know, right? And I'll ask you because you have both games now. Baldur's Gate 3 or Dragon's Dogma 2. Which do you suggest? Because I'm looking at both, and the more I hear about this one, I think I might Baldur's Gate instead. To be fair.
It's funny.
Mhm.
I think I'm enjoying this more. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Wow.
But isn't Baldur's Gate more of a dice rolling one, though? This is more
Well, yeah.
No,
action,
100%,
isn't it?
100%. And I think for me, what I enjoy about this game, and we've hinted at it a lot, but I think we haven't really
Right.
addressed it. It's the
Right.
exploration.
Yeah.
You
Oh, it's
can
a
just
huge
go
world.
around and find stuff, and you're never gonna feel like it's static. And this is one of my gripes with Baldur's Gate games, and Divinity was the same way. Once you
Right.
discover something in an area, you're kind of done with the area.
Right.
There's nothing dynamic about it. It's there's
Right.
a chest there. It's open. It's fine. Here, you're still going to have a little bit of that. If you come across a chest, you open it. It will stay opened, and you'll see it again if you come back by. However,
Right.
new monsters can populate the area. You'll see different travelers on the road, and so it just feels alive. Whereas in Baldur's Gate, I've never get any of the sense that the world is alive.
Right.
And just like a couple fun things. So one, I'm cruising around with my companions, and I see this kind of trail that's going along the side of a cliffside, and I
Right.
see that there's a distance that I could jump and get over to another plateau, and it looks like there's a chest. So I
Mhm.
do that. I crawl down, jump over, get to the other side, get to the chest. I open the chest up, get some gold, and then I see this little medallion on the ground, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But they're collectibles, and apparently there's 240.
Oh, seeker tokens.
Yes,
Yes.
seeker token.
Yeah, I found about 3 of them.
Yeah, and so they're just they kind of think of it like Halo skulls. They're
You
randomly
can
placed.
spend
Right.
them in the towns, apparently.
Okay.
I'll tell you, have you found any glowing beetles on the trees?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
If you consume
beetles.
them, it increases your carrying capacity.
Ah.
I've seen this online, but I found about 4 of them, and each beetle increases your carrying capacity by 0.15 kilograms, which isn't a lot,
Okay.
but there's apparently lots of beetles to find.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they don't
holy
seem like
beetles.
they're not uncommon.
So I've
But the
done
other-
4 of them, so that's like half a kilogram I can carry extra.
So two other like quick stories about exploration. One, I
Mhm.
found a cave that I definitely want to try and access. There's a ladder up there to be able to knock down, and even the pawn character talked about if we could knock that ladder down, we can get
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for the life of me, I can't figure out how to get that to happen yet. So I put a pin on that. I'll come back to it at some point. And then a different exploration, and this didn't amount to anything other than it was just a very cool moment of being like, okay, what happened here? I was again going on a quest, and I got a little sidetracked going around a waterfall area, and I saw a giant griffin that was killed. It had a
Alright.
big old spear going through it, and I'm like, okay, and no other explanation to it. It's just there.
Neat.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and so it's those little things, it's those little touches of just the exploration into the world, and it wasn't on a normal pathway. I would have, I may not have seen it had I just, not gone off
Right.
the path. And this
Right.
game definitely encourages you to explore.
Right.
It is meant to be played not just through the main quest, but to explore the environment in the world. And so for that, I really enjoy that part of this game as well. And I think that's why I put it above Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, that's good for me because I did the same thing with like Red Dead Redemption and all those,
Yeah.
the little out of the way places, and you find the weird stuff that you wouldn't have found otherwise. So cool.
So yeah.
Maybe.
So okay. Let's jump off of this topic
Okie
And
dokie.
let's talk about the news.
What?
Maybe not.
Yes.
A what?
Yeah.
quiz.
You guys forgot.
I'm not even
Oh.
following my own thing. All right, let's do our Metacritic Madness quiz. Kim,
Alrighty, let me pull my notes up here.
you were not so randomly selected to be the quiz master this week.
Okie
So,
dokie.
for those of you that don't know what this game is, I've totally aped this from another more popular podcast, but that's okay. We pick 3 games from no longer than 20 years ago, but no sooner than 5, if possible. I don't think we had that caveat in there before, but that's
No.
the general gist of it. And basically, you try and guess as close as you are to the Metacritic score. You can go over, you can go under, doesn't matter. It's closest to a 0 difference wins the week. And so Mark and I will be battling this week. Kim, you are in charge.
Oh, goody. Alrighty.
What year are we talking about?
We are talking about 2008.
2008.
Yes. And I
Alright.
didn't pick any oddballs this week, although I probably could have found one, but I didn't this time. I thought I'd be nice. So I did pick a couple, actually. There's a couple in here that I've played before, so that's, All right.
Okay.
So anyway, first off, one that is near and dear to my heart, we have Peggle Knights for the PC.
Ooh.
Even though I played Peggle on the Xbox,
Yeah.
but whatever. Peggle Knights for the PC. What was its score? Mark, we'll go with you first.
So this is a sequel, so I think the original might have got a higher score. I would say 78.
Okie dokie. Tank Top
Peggle Knights. I'm
Mhm.
going to go
on the PC.
on
so.
the PC.
I think this might have scored more on like the Nintendos. And
85.
Mark, you are the winner. It was 76.
Stuff. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
2 out.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
loved this game. I love
Yeah,
Peggle.
I love
don't know
Peggle.
why.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's one of those. Alrighty, next on the list. And I picked this one because it's kind of relevant because, I don't know, what is it? The remake or whatever come out this week or last week, whatever. We have Alone in the Dark
Oh, I
for
remember
the
this.
360.
This, yeah. I
Yeah.
played this.
We'll go with Tank Top this time. What was the score?
Ooh, Alone in the Dark for the 360.
Mhm.
I'm going to say 75.
Okay. Mark?
I've played this, and I know this
Mhm.
game got slayed. It got a lot of fucking flack. So I will say 62.
Mark, you are the closest. It was 58.
Ooh, yeah, I knew it got a bad rap.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, and last but certainly not least is another one that I played from another series that is near and dear to my heart, and that is The Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon.
Ooh.
On the
Oh, Dawn of a
360.
Dragon. Right, okay.
Yeah,
I've not played that one. I don't know
Yeah.
that one.
I played this one, but anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. So, Mark, we'll go with you again.
I know the Spyro games are well loved and cherished, but I don't know about this one. I don't know if it lives up to the other ones. I'll go 75.
Tank Top.
That's a pretty good guess, Mark.
Hmm.
I think
It's a safe guess.
It's a safe guess. It's a
Yeah.
very safe guess.
Yeah.
Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon on 360, correct?
On 360. Yep.
I'm gonna go 76.
Mm. And what was yours, Mark?
75.
Mark's got it again. 62.
Ooh,
It was bad.
It was quite low,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played this one and I love Spyro. We all know this, but
Yeah.
I could not get through this one.
All
I
right.
just
Yeah.
couldn't-
Like
couldn't
I
do it,
say,
yeah.
I didn't know about this one, and I knew the other games were well loved, and I wasn't
Right.
sure if this lived up to it or not.
It should have, because it, gave Spyro a girlfriend and all that. But I
Right.
don't know. Some of the stuff they did with it, I couldn't get behind. So anyway, so yeah, 62. So I think Mark
Well
wins
done,
this
Mark.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well done.
So
That's
there you
2
go.
games under my belt now. Do I have to get the 3rd game to get on the scoreboard? Do I?
Oh, you're on the scoreboard.
All right. Okay. I've only played it once
Definitely.
before.
So there you go. That's
right.
Well
Meta
done, Kim.
Madness for this week.
Very good games then. good choice.
See, I did what I could.
All right. On to the news.
Yep.
All right.
Here is the fucking news.
We have all the most important news from the week.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
PlayStation has released a Jim Ryan digital bobblehead to celebrate his career.
Oh, goody.
The collectible, which has been released by through Sony's digital platform, PlayStation Stars, can be obtained by playing a game that Ryan championed, in quotes, during his time at the company. In case you want this, the eligible games are Gran Turismo 7, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, The Last of Us Part 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Destiny 2. Apparently, he did not like any other game, just those. It's disturbing. I'm sorry.
It's a YouTube short, so it doesn't fit in the window. Sorry, but
Yeah, but still,
What the
Jim
holy
Ryan
sh-
bobblehead. Go figure.
Ah.
All right, Mark, we've been talking about Dragon's Dogma 2 a lot. Capcom has responded to criticism of Dragon Dogma 2's paid DLC and performance issues. While the game received glowing pre-release reviews. Following the launch on Friday, it had a mixed reception on Steam, where
those
just
are my
40%,
words. Mixed.
yeah, 40% of over 9,300 user reviews were positive. So the majority negative. Players discovered on Friday that there are 21 separate DLC purchases available on day one. Disappointment appears to stem from the fact that some of them are for things that players feel should be easier to obtain in the game for free. In a message published on Steam, Capcom said it has received numerous comments from the community on these subjects. To all those looking forward to this game, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. That's an odd thing to say. Inconvenience? Okay. On the subject of microtransactions, Capcom noted all of the items listed below can be obtained in-game or as paid DLC. So, again, this is kind of what we were talking about. The Art of Metamorphosis. It's a character editor. The Ambient Rift license that changes your pawn inclinations. Portal Crystal is a warp location marker. A Wake Stone restores the dead to life. 500 Rift Crystals. This is Rift Crystals, basically points to spend beyond the Rift. Makeshift Goal Key. Escape from Goal. I have no idea what that means.
I think it's a jail
then-
key.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then the Harpy Snare Smoke Beacons. Which, there you go. It's a Harpy lure item. I don't know why I'd want to lure a Harpy.
No.
I was going to say, why would you
I
want
don't
to
want to
lure the
repel them.
herpes?
Well, you know what? It's actually probably because when you kill them, you get their feathers, and that you can then take to make certain types of arrows.
Gotcha.
Anyway, Capcom said it's also going to investigate critical problems with crashes and freezing, which it plans to address in the near future. So obviously they're going to patch the game. They're going to try and make it run better, likely on all platforms. For now, it is what it is. There's going to be some stuttering. There's going to be some issues on performance. But
I didn't know that.
And it
I've
won't
ju-
play on Steam Deck.
I've just
apparently.
put a video up on the microtransactions, and the guy lured in one of them siren things, and then he grabbed its legs and it flew him away off a tower. I didn't know he could do that.
Huh.
All right.
Well, there you go, I guess.
Helldivers 2 is the USA's best-selling game of the year so far.
Oh, I've heard so many
And
people talk
importantly,
about this game. Lad at work's got it.
Nearly
He loves it.
60% of the sales on PC.
Mm.
This
Wow.
was shared by Matt Piscatella from Circana, formerly NPD. The co-op shooter took the top spot as the best-selling premium game and best-selling PlayStation game and most played on Steam charts for the month. Piscatella pointed out that more copies of Helldiver 2 were sold on Steam than PS5, with PC accounting for nearly 60% of the copies sold. Helldiver's combined PS5 and PC sales mean its total dollar sales for its launch month were the 7th highest total ever achieved by a Sony published title in the US. Not said in this article. Get ready, Sony is going to release day and date on PC.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. They're seeing the bag, and that's money rules everything.
Yep.
So. Xbox, speaking of money ruling everything, is making changes to its Microsoft Rewards program.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
I
comes, I
noticed
think,
that
to
over
the
the
dismay of
weekend,
many. I know, Kim, you Mike, Mark, Mike. Both of you actually used to use the rewards program a lot. I think
I
Kim,
still
you
do.
still
Yeah,
pretty active?
I
I
don't
still
as
do.
much now, especially now I've got the PC. But yeah, it used to fund my Game Pass Ultimate until they nerfed all the rewards you got and also put the price up of the Ultimate. And I know Phil
Yeah.
Olsen used to do that as well. He used to get free Xbox Game Pass.
Mhm.
Yeah. Basically, so to sum up what this amounts to, so they have a new rewards hub and it brings together access to all offers and Xbox related activities and will be a destination for on Xbox to set goals, earn, and redeem points. So on the surface, it sounds like not a big deal. They're just creating a specific hub. But the problem is
Mhm.
the Xbox rewards program, it was a Bing reward program, to be honest. It was a Microsoft reward program. So
Yep.
everything you did, no matter where you were at, it all compiled into the same bucket. Now it sounds like they're going to get rid of the Bing search rewards
Right.
and you're just going to have Xbox related rewards. So it's just going to make it harder to earn rewards. You'll still earn rewards. You're just not going to be able to do 150 searches in a day and get that to
Right.
count for 150 reward points.
Right.
By
I
what I
kind of
can
knew
gather,
this was going to happen at some
yeah,
point.
by what I can gather is you used to have a rewards app on the Xbox, and then also when you did Game Pass games, you got quests, and they were separate. And now I think they're all in one area.
Right.
The quests and the rewards are all in one area now. By the look of it, I've not really delved into it much.
Yeah, I think they're walling a little bit the Xbox rewards versus other Microsoft rewards programs. So they're no longer one giant unified program.
Right.
So I think they realized a lot of people were, circumventing, or not circumventing. They were just kind of manipulating the system to pay for their Game Pass, and Microsoft wants you to pay for your Game Pass through your own wallet.
It's all Phil's fault.
Yeah, it's all Phil's fault. Phil's fault. Real fast, back to the Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC and the paid DLC, or actually, not DLC, purchases. It's not pay to win in that, well, let me take it back. I suppose you could call it pay to win in some respects, but it's a single player game. So there's no...
You're not getting an advantage
no
over
benefit to
you're
it
not
other
advantage
than-
over anyone else, are you, apart
Yeah.
from yourself?
Right.
Yeah. Now, certainly, does it make it easier on you? 100%. I mean, if you can fast travel by paying to fast travel, you would get
That
yourself out of a
probably
tough
Now,
situation.
if you could
like
buy
Mark
ferry
said.
stones, I might have been tempted with that, but you can't
Yeah.
even buy the
Right?
ferry stones. You can only buy the,
That's coming,
the
though.
crystals. Yeah.
That's coming.
But the wake stones, I actually found one of them in a chest, and they're quite good because when you die, you can actually use it and come back to life rather than it reloading your last autosave. So the wake stones are good, and if you have enough of them, you never die because you
there
just
you go.
resurrect. It's like a resurrection stone.
But can you only use it once, or can you
I've
use it
no
repeatedly?
idea. I've no idea. You can also find segments of them, and if you get 3 of them, you can combine it to make one stone. And that's
Right.
something else we didn't touch on. In your inventory, there's a lot of materials you harvest you can combine. So you can
Yes.
combine some leaves and some
Crafting.
fruit, and it will make a health potion or a stamina potion. And the stamina potion lasts for a split second, and it's gone again. Because I've tried.
Yep. Interestingly, there was one quest where I was asked to get something for a little girl. It was like
I've not seen any of these.
Yeah. So basically, it was a potion, but it was like a fruit-based potion, so to speak. And turns out in my inventory, I had all the items. I just crafted it right in front of her, and I handed it to her, and I got the quest.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah. So
He made the
again,
kid some fruit juice.
little fruit just goes a long way.
Knowing Greg,
all
knowing Greg, it'd been a mojito.
Ooh, that sounds actually kind of refreshing. All right, that does it for the news. Again, it was a pretty light week. The fact that the Jim Ryan bobblehead doll made it
That
to
was
the
a
top
big
of the news. But we do have some new releases coming. So, Kim,
We do.
what new releases should we look forward to?
Yeah, your new releases for March 24th through the 30th are Acolyte of the Altar for the PC on the 25th, Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on the 26th, Grandia HD Collection, whatever that is, for the PS4 and Xbox One on the 26th as well. Planet Zoo for the console. It will be out on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S on March 26th. Now, this is a weird one, given that it's springtime, but whatever. South Park, Snow Day. You'd have thought they'd have waited till winter for that one, but whatever. But it'll be out for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, the Switch, and the PC on the 26th as well. And then we have, let me scroll a little bit here. We have Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective on the Android, the 28th. Open Roads for the PS5, X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC on the 28th as well. Outward for the Switch on the 28th. Pepper Grinder for Switch and PC on the 28th as well. And this was on last week, but apparently they've moved it, so here we are again. Madison for the PlayStation VR2 on the 29th. So, there you go.
That's a PSVR 2 game. Honestly, I have not heard any games coming to that platform in such a long time.
I know, right?
Kind of forget it's around.
Right.
I think Sony forgets it's around too. Just
sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, new releases.
You don't even hear
you
of a
for that.
PlayStation Portal anymore. There was a shortage when it came out before Christmas. I know Pete got one. And you don't hear of it anymore, do you? I don't know if it's still selling well, if there's any shortages.
I think it's still doing okay because every once in a while on Twitter I see where somebody posts that, Amazon's got a stock of them and then like within 5 minutes they're gone again. So I think they're doing okay.
So it would be nice for a certain Pete Chin to get in touch with us and actually come on the show and tell us how
I
he's
have
getting
heard
on.
from Pete. I have heard from Pete.
Tell us how he's getting on with his PlayStation Portal.
I did. Yeah, I offered him up a code for MLB 24.
All right, okay.
So apparently it's region locked. Sorry, Pete. But importantly, boat still afloat.
Wow.
Thank God.
It's not sunk.
And he's okay.
So.
He's doing okay, is he?
Yes, he is.
Right.
He's okay. Just he is now officially on the boat, and I think there's a big adjustment happening right now. So
I can imagine.
I figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
is he
all
coming
right.
back or did he say?
Eventually,
Right, okay.
I think it's going to take some time. He has to figure out his setup, and I think part of that is just
and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't say I took a year off to know.
Right, you did.
It's okay. It's okay. He's on a boat. He's not lost.
Pete's on a boat.
We have a beacon. We know where to find him now.
Right.
Oh, like God. I started when he got kidnapped by aliens or something.
Yeah,
'cause-
him and Shell haven't killed each other yet with his small confined spaces.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Speaking of killing one another,
Oh, no.
Halo Wednesday nights still happening. Come hang out. We're going to play some Halo on every Wednesday, right around 8 p.m. in the UK, right around noon-ish, because I say that because the time change hasn't fully gone into effect yet over on the Pacific coast. If you're in between all of that, figure it out for yourself. Fatal Fridays, Mark.
Yeah, so I was a bit slack with the vote this week. I put it up a bit late, and certain people, Jay and Snoogans, didn't even vote this week. So, yeah, I don't know whether I put the vote up or not, because there just seems to be the sort of like regular 2 or 3 people turning up anyway. The Battlefield week was good, however. We had extra people like yourself, Greg, and Kim.
You play a game that's worthy of being played. That's,
Oh, Lethal Company's a scream, though. It's only like $8, so what, $10, $12? It's such a laugh. And your Potato PC will run it, because it's only like 300 megabytes.
This does speak to me a little bit.
Yeah, and it's such a laugh. It's so funny. Kim, it'll run on your laptop. You're going to have to get it. And Steam Deck. It'd be perfect on Steam Deck.
I was going to say, I'll play it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it'll run on Steam Deck.
I
Easy.
love my Steam Deck.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm on Steam a lot more regular now. I keep checking the profile activity and that, and I keep seeing every time Kim buys a new game, or in Kim's
And he
case,
keeps giving
where
me
she buys
shit
3,
about it.
she buys 3 or 4 games at once, and I'll put, buying again, Kim, and then she'd put a comment back saying, yeah, so are you, and I put, damn, yeah, okay, you got me. It's funny, but like 90% of all Kim's games have all got cats in it somehow.
Hey, Gargoyles doesn't have cats.
All right,
so
okay,
there you go.
Are you sure?
I actually
Not
bought
100%,
so
no.
last week in that Steam sale. I know we're running a bit long here, but Rainbow Six Siege was on sale for £3.39.
Oh wow!
Jay bought it. He linked his Ubisoft account, and all his characters were there and everything. and he said
Yeah.
it runs really well. Now you can download it on Game Pass.
Yes.
But he said you had to use a controller. You can't use a mouse and keyboard on it, which I thought was very strange. But anyway, I thought, well, for £3, no, you can't buy a fucking Big Mac for that, can you? So I bought it.
Not anymore.
No,
Right.
I bought it, right? And when I tried to run it, it kept coming up with Ubisoft Connect wanting a verification code. And Jay said, well, it didn't do that for me. Now, in the past, I've had like 2 or 3 Ubisoft accounts. I've only
Right.
got like one I use now, which is linked to my PlayStation and my Xbox, and the rewards link between them. But it just wouldn't have my new thing. And there's no way to link your Steam account manually like you can with Xbox and PlayStation. I contacted Ubisoft support, I contacted Steam support, no one could help me. So I ended up refunding it. So yeah, I refunded it.
Interesting.
And I downloaded a Game Pass version. Keyboard and mouse works fine. It's the same game.
Okay.
So I've got it on PC anyway through Game Pass.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
They've removed Terrorist Hunt, and I'm so upset about that. Apparently, Season 8, whenever that was, that's how long ago I've played it. I used to love Terrorist Hunt. I used to play that solo, or we used to play it with Kim a lot.
yeah.
Not with Nicole a lot. Nicole
Yeah.
loved that, and she used to always tell me off for running ahead and grenading someone. But yeah, I loved Terrorist Hunt in the Rainbow Six games, and it's gone.
Wonder why they removed it.
You can still play versus AI, which is the normal mode.
Okay.
So there's the 4 main
Right.
characters doing the thing, but you don't get any XP anymore.
Hmm.
So I'm a bit gutted with that.
I don't want to speculate why they removed Terrorist Hunt, but I wonder if it's because it was Terrorist Hunt, and
Right. Yeah.
Right.
somebody was like, "You can't
Well-
call them terrorists."
The reasoning on Ubisoft's website was to keep the game uniform and the game modes all the same sort of thing. So I don't know. Because that Terrorist Hunt went right back to the old Vegas days. Vegas days. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're at that time. If you have
Yep.
been here through all of this, thank you so much. We're going to do it again next week. Before we go further with this, so Kim, let's do a quick shout out. We had a bunch of people in the chat showing up.
Yeah. Alrighty, we've got Boomer who finally showed up. Jay was in there, and for the bro. Lord's been in there, and a new one, Harpcat, showed up through YouTube. So thanks for stopping in on the chat, guys. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. We will be back next week, so come back. Next week it should officially be all on the same clock.
That's what I
The
told
UK
Lord.
finally
Yeah.
in the right
yeah,
time
next
zone.
Saturday night, 2 a.m. It'll be 3 a.m. Yeah, for us.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
It's about damn time.
Leave us a review if you've been watching, listening, wherever you're catching us. We do an audio version of this as well, so you can always catch it from your favorite podcast app. And let's do some shout outs and we'll get out of here. Mark.
Yeah, I want to shout out Snoogans and Jay for an absolute hoot on Friday night. We were just in stitches the whole night. It was so funny as that leaving company. And I also want to shout out Max Verstappen. Thanks for fucking up my fantasy thing this week. Although it wasn't your fault, the car failed on him. The brake seized on and it destroyed his car, and he retired after the first 4 laps or something. It was on early hours this morning because it was in Australia, so I missed the actual race. But yeah, he's my main focus of my team. So I got very little points this week. So yeah, I'm gutted.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. How about you,
sucks.
Kim?
Alrighty. Shout out to you guys as always. It's always fun. Hopefully it's supposed to warm up this week. I hope. I have a dentist appointment Thursday, so it'd be nice if at least it was warm. Other than that, like I said, hope everybody has a good week. Hopefully Battlefield will win Fatal Friday this week. Because although I don't know that I can play because it's Good Friday and I think
It's Good
I
Friday.
have the
Oh,
kids.
sorry. Yeah. So that reminds me, actually. Snoogans texted me earlier today, said, with it being Good Friday, his missus is dragging him out and that, and he says, can we give Fatal Friday a miss this Friday? And we'll probably have a couple of the kids Friday night, with it being the summer
Right.
holidays and that. So Fatal Fridays might be skipping a week. So I'll put a notification in the Discord.
We'll see. There you
This
go.
is like Snoogans going to the gym.
Right?
Over football.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that's it. Over to you, Gurgles.
Awesome. Well, thank you to the two of you for making the show this week. Appreciate it. Robin, we do miss you. Look, we'll be back next week. All kinds of fun. More Dragon's Dogma stories to be told, I am sure. I might check out Wild West or Evil West. Was it Evil
Yes.
West?
Yeah.
You guys are welcome for that,
Yeah.
by the way. I bought it months
Thank
ago.
you for buying that, Kim.
Yep.
I've got it downloaded, ready to go. JSS Lifelike shot me a note saying, "Hey, that game
Oh,
is
wow.
awesome."
Not heard
I
of
will
it for
try
a
it.
while.
Yep.
I've actually got
yeah,
that on
we-
PS5. It was a PS5 Plus game a while ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
It looks good.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Mm.
But yeah, so we'll do it all again next week. So come back, hang out. We'll see you then. In the meantime, have a great rest of your weekend.
Where's the button?
Yeah.
The button mark.
Press the goddamn
Thank you
button.
for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
That was a dick move. That was a dick move.
Fuck off.
But you know what? Maybe there's a way to mute your ass.
Come on, man. Yeah, huh? I love kids jumping on my lap.
See you same time next week.
Love you, bye.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.